Okay, don't hate me for saying this, but there are two problems with a regular strawberry cake. Firstly, if it's a recipe that uses fresh strawberries only, then it often lacks that kind of strawberry flavor hit that you want from, well, a strawberry cake. And secondly, if it only uses strawberry essence or extract, then it often has this overwhelmingly artificial flavor, which I just really don't like that. So today I'm going to be bringing together the best of both worlds and sharing my super soft strawberry cake recipe that is bursting with strawberry flavor. So to start off, we're going to be making a strawberry filling, or jam, sauce, whatever you want to call it. And this is going to go into all of the different elements of our strawberry cake today, which is why we're making it first. And you can also make this the day beforehand if you want to save time. So I've got 600 grams of strawberries here, which have already been hulled, which just means that the tops have been removed. And I'm just slicing them in half and then placing them into a large fry pan. Now to that, I'm also going to add in 150 grams or 3/4 of a cup of white granulated sugar. Now, if you happen to have super sweet strawberries, then you can reduce the sugar by about 1/4 cup. And then to that, I'm also adding in 1 tablespoon of lemon zest, which is about the zest of 1 lemon, and 60 grams or 1/4 cup of freshly squeezed lemon juice. And then you just want to place that over a medium heat and then just let it sit, stirring occasionally, and you're just allowing the strawberries to become nice and soft. So about 10 minutes later, your strawberries should be nice and soft now, and now you just want to use a potato masher to mash the strawberries really well. Now at this point, you'll notice a lot of liquid in the mixture, and most of that is the water that's come out of the strawberries. So you just want to let that reduce now so that the strawberry flavor intensifies and becomes nice and strong. So again, about another 10 minutes later, your mixture should have thickened up a bit by now. And then to finish off, we're going to mix together 22 grams or 3 tablespoons of cornstarch with 2 tablespoons of water. And then you just want to mix that together so it's not lumpy, and then pour that into the strawberry mixture and then let it reduce again for a few more minutes. Once it's done, you should have this kind of consistency, and it will continue to thicken up as it cools. Now you should end up with about 2 cups of this mixture. Don't worry if it's not like exact, but if you do have quite a bit more, then it just means that you need to continue to reduce the mixture a little bit further. So this does need to cool before we move on to the cake. So to speed up the process, I'm just pouring it into a large dish and then popping it into the freezer for about 30 minutes. So 30 minutes later, my strawberry filling is nice and cool, and it's thickened up now as well. And now we're ready to move on to the cake. So to start off, you want to preheat your oven to 160°C or 320°F with the fan on, and grease or line 2 8-inch cake tins. As always, I'm using my homemade cake release. It is so easy to make, and my cakes come out perfect every time. Okay, now you just want to set these aside for now, and next we're going to sift together our dry ingredients. So I've got 300 grams or 2 1/3 cups of all-purpose flour, 25 grams or 1/4 cup of cornstarch, also known as cornflour in some countries, 2 1/2 teaspoons of baking powder, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And then you just want to use a whisk to mix that all together until it's well combined. Now just set this aside for now, and next in a small bowl combine 195 grams or 3/4 of a cup of the strawberry filling we made earlier, 60 grams or 1/4 cup of room temperature milk, and a small drop of red gel food coloring. And then just mix that together until it's well combined. The food coloring is optional, but I do recommend it because as the cake bakes, it loses color, and you end up with kind of like this dull, almost gray color to your cake, which just isn't as nice. So just set that aside for now, and next in a large bowl, add in 113 grams or 1/2 cup of room temperature unsalted butter, 105 grams or 1/2 cup of unflavored vegetable oil, I use canola oil, and 300 grams or 1 1/2 cups of white granulated sugar. And then using a hand or stand mixer on a medium speed, cream that together for 3 minutes until it's light and fluffy. Next, you want to add in 225 grams of egg whites, which is about 6 large egg whites, in 3 batches on a low speed. So I've already separated my yolks from my whites earlier, and you want to make sure that each batch of egg whites is mixed in well before adding in the next. Now, the main reason I'm not using whole eggs in this recipe is because the yolks affect both the color of the cake as well as the flavor too. So I really want my cake to have this beautiful strawberry color to it, and I also want the strawberry flavor to really shine through and not kind of get dampened by anything else. Now once the egg whites are nicely mixed in, then next we're going to add in half of our strawberry milk mixture from earlier. In addition to that, to really amp up the natural strawberry flavour already in the batter, we're also going to add in 3 teaspoons of strawberry essence or extract, and then we're also going to add in 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla for extra flavour and 1 teaspoon of white vinegar, and then we're just going to mix that all together until it's well combined. Now just get any batter off of the attachments because we're going to be doing the rest of the mixing by hand. So next add in half of your pre-mixed dry ingredients from earlier and gently fold that in until just combined. Then add in the remaining strawberry milk mixture and fold that in until just combined. And then add in the remaining dry ingredients and again fold until just combined. You don't want to overmix the batter, so only fold until there aren't any more large lumps or streaks of flour running through the batter. Now once you're almost done, if you feel like the batter still looks a little bit dull, then you can just add in a little bit of extra red gel food coloring, which is what I've done here. Okay, and that is our batter all done. It smells so incredible. And now you just want to evenly distribute this into our 2 pre-prepared cake tins. Once all the batter is in, give your cake tins a light bang on the counter to remove any large air bubbles, and now these are going to go into the oven for 35 minutes or until a toothpick comes out clean. So my cakes are out of the oven now. They have the most gorgeous strawberry smell. They've been cooling in the tins for about 20 minutes, and now I'm just running a thin knife around the edges to release the cakes from the cake tins and turning them out onto a wire rack so they can completely cool. I honestly wish you guys could smell these cakes right now, and the cake layers are so incredibly soft. Now while these cake layers are cooling, we're going to go ahead and make the most incredibly delicious strawberry cream cheese frosting. So you want to start off by creaming together 225 grams or 1 cup of room temperature unsalted butter until it's light and fluffy. If you're using a stand mixer, then you want to do this with the paddle attachment. Next, add in 570 grams or 4.5 cups of icing sugar, also known as powdered or confectioner's sugar, and you want to do this in 3 batches while mixing on a low speed. And this is just to stop your icing sugar from going everywhere. And you want to make sure that each batch of icing sugar is mixed in well before you add in the next. Now once that's done, you want to add in 335 grams or 1.5 cups of cold cream cheese. Remember to use the firm type, not the spreadable type. 1 teaspoon of vanilla and 2 teaspoons of strawberry extract or essence. And then just mix that in until it's just combined and the cream cheese is nice and smooth. Now to finish off, we're going to add in 65 grams or 1/4 cup of our strawberry filling and just mix that in until just combined. By adding a combination of real strawberry and strawberry flavouring, it's really going to amp up that strawberry flavour without it tasting artificial. Once that's done, if you feel like your frosting is a little bit dull in colour, then you can add just a teeny tiny bit of red gel food colouring, and this will just help to brighten up the frosting, but this is optional. Okay, and that is it. My strawberry cream cheese frosting is all done. So my cake layers are all cooled down now, and before I start decorating, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to trim off the little brown bits around my cake layers. But this is purely for aesthetic purposes so that I can have a nice thumbnail on my video, so you can totally skip this step. Once that's done, I'm placing my first cake layer straight onto my cake stand and topping it with a generous amount of frosting and then smoothing that out with my offset spatula. Then I'm popping some of my frosting into a piping bag with a 1A large round tip, and then I'm piping a little dam of frosting around the outer edges of my cake layer. And this is going to hold the remaining strawberry filling we have, which I'm going to use as a filling in this cake. So I'm just adding the filling to the middle and smoothing that out. Then my second cake layer goes on top of that, and again I'm just placing some frosting on the top and then smoothing it out with my offset spatula. Once that's done, I'm also covering the sides with buttercream and then smoothing it out with my cake scraper. Now to get some nice sharp edges on the top of my cake, I'm just bringing that top lip of frosting into the middle of the cake with my offset spatula. Now with the remaining buttercream that I have in my piping bag, I'm still using the same 1A piping tip. I'm just doing a little bit of piping around the top edges. And then to finish off, I'm just placing some fresh strawberries on the top. Okay, and that is it. My strawberry cake is done. This cake is bursting with strawberry flavor. The cake layers are so soft, and that strawberry cream cheese buttercream just honestly adds a whole other depth of flavor to the cake. So good. The cake layers are so incredibly soft, and you have this really wonderful strawberry flavor coming through. So that is it, guys. If you do decide to give this recipe a go and you love it just as much as I do, then please do leave a review on my blog. It really helps out my content, and I absolutely love hearing from you guys. I'll see you in the next video.